Hello guys and welcome to Samantha's Kitchen. Today I've got 3 dishes, yes 3 dishes, all Japanese inspired, and do you know what we're going to use? And it's going to be the main central theme, dead easy, dead cheap. A lot of people will be put off at this moment, but we're using cabbage. In particular we're using Chinese leaf cabbage. You can use normal, like everyday cabbage if you don't have this in your store. And what I've done, this is one whole cabbage right here, and I've just finely chopped it. That's all I've done. I've finely chopped it, and as you see, it's like really thin, shredded pieces. And we're going to be able to make 3 dishes from this. Don't get me wrong, we're not just using this, but in terms of like cost, it's really cheap. So one big Chinese leaf cabbage there. And the next we're going to need some veggies, because one of the dishes is going to have some veggies, and all these are leftover vegetables that I have had in the fridge, and I'm like, well, what do I do with like 3 bits of broccoli and 3/4 of an onion and a 2-inch of courgette. So what I've got here is 1 carrot. I've got a handful of asparagus, about 3, maybe 4 or 5. I've got a cupful of broccoli, I've got 3/4 of an onion, and I've got about 2 inches of a courgette that I've chopped diagonally. You can add whatever you want. If there's peppers in there in your fridge, you can add peppers. If you've got snow peas, add snow peas. You name it, you can add whatever you want. I've also got, again, this is stuff out of the fridge that I don't know what to do with. I've got about a 2-inch cucumber that I finally like chopped into like long matchstick pieces. Half a lemon here. I've got a teaspoon of sugar. I've got a teaspoon of ginger. I've got some miso. I've got a tablespoon of that, and I've got 2 teaspoons of some sesame seeds, and then I've got here some chili. It's like I had 1.5 chilies, so I've got that. I've got some onion, so I've got a 1/4 of onion. I've got 2 teaspoons of garlic. I've got 1 tablespoon of ginger, 1 tablespoon of garlic here as well. So from all this here, we're going to make 3 dishes. And the dishes are as follows. We're going to do a Japanese inspired cabbage side dish using the Chinese Chinese leaf, I've forgotten what it's called, cabbage, sorry. It didn't come to me then. So we've got a side dish, which is that. Then we're going to have a lovely Japanese inspired vegetable stir fry. And then we're also going to make some Japanese inspired fritters, cabbage fritters, which is really exciting. The additional ingredients that you will need, you'll need some sesame oil. You'll also need some soy sauce. I'm using dark soy sauce. You will need some mirin, and you will need some rice vinegar. For the fritters, we're going to need some water as well, and I've got some water in my creeper mug because I am a Minecraft geek. And I've got some flour as well for that. So without further ado, let us get cracking, and the first thing we're going to do is make the side salad dish. So what we're going to need to add is we're going to need to add our lemon juice. If you're not confident about squeezing into your hands and letting the juice run down, use a strainer so you don't get those pips in there. Give that a right good squeeze in like so, and making sure you get all that juice out. Okay, so we're also going to need to add in our miso. You can use white miso. I'm using red today. And then we will need our soy sauce, and we'll need 1 tablespoon of soy sauce for the salad dressing. So we'll just add 1 tablespoon like so. We will also need a tablespoon of mirin, so we can add that now. Careful with this, don't let it jug out too much. There's your mirin that we've added. We will need 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Now I really like sesame oil, and so if you like it, add in 2, because I think it's absolutely magnificent with any salad. Okay, now typically you would add in some kind of vegetable oil, and I'm going to be really controversial here. I don't want to use vegetable oil. I want to use extra virgin oil because of the health benefits. I don't want to just use normal vegetable oil. So that is what I'm going to do. Please don't shout at me in the comments. I know exactly why I'm doing this, and you know, I apologise. So I'm going to add the extra virgin olive oil now. Yes, I do know it changes its flavour, but to me, I think it works brilliantly. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this. As I say, please don't come for me. And what we're going to do with this now is whisk this up and break all this miso down, and yeah, so we'll give this a good mix. Some people use an emulsifier. I'm going to get a fork on it and give it a real good whisk. Now we've got it to this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in our ginger here and our sugar, and then I'm going to add our sesame in here as well, our sesame seeds, and then we'll just stir that up like so, making sure that everything is into a fine dressing. And if you want to add more oil, you can add more oil. There's nothing stopping you. I'm going to add a little bit more in here. Just a little bit, a couple of more tablespoons. And just keep giving that a good mix in. Like so. And then that is it. That is our dressing done for the salad. Okay, so in terms of the salad, what we're going to do is we're going to take 1/3 of the Chinese cabbage, like so. And then we're going to add our cucumber into it. And we're going to then dress this salad. Now I've made here enough for a couple of salad dressings, and what you want to do is you just want to get a nice even coat all over the salad, making sure everything's just coated so nicely with all those beautiful ingredients that we put in. Real good mix, like so. And then here's our first dish, our wonderful Japanese inspired cabbage salad. Okay, for this next one, this is going to be our Japanese inspired fritters, and what we're going to do here is we're going to add our onion into the bowl with this garlic. We're also going to add our chili. If you don't have chili, use some hot pepper flakes or anything along those lines. Then we're going to add our second third of our cabbage, like so. So we're just left with this final third for our stir fry, and then we're going to add our ingredients. So what we need here is 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. So we'll get this in here, which is 1 teaspoon soy sauce. We're then going to add in 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. 1, 2. I've already added in our sea salt, I use Himalayan salt. That was 1 teaspoon. We're then going to add in our rice vinegar, and we need 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, like so. We're also going to add then in our mirin, which is 1 tablespoon of mirin, like so. And then what we're going to do then is we're going to mix these now into fritters. So we're going to add a little bit of flour. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons to start with, and then we're going to add a splash, just a splash of water, just to get the mixture moving. And if you've watched any of my other programs, I do like to make these kinds of fritters. I think they go a long way. I think they're unusual. It's just a little bit of a different take on, you know, basically doing whatever you want with the vegetables that you've got. It's just a little bit different. So I'm going to add in more of the flour now, and we're wanting to get them into a fritter consistency. Now you would, in traditional cooking these Japanese fritters, traditionally you would add in eggs as a binder, but I don't necessarily think you need to do that, just as long as you can make it bind with the flour. So I've probably added in here now about 6 tablespoons of flour, and as you can see, it's starting to come together now and it's starting to hold its form. So I'm going to give this another good mix, just to make sure everything is bound and can hold. I'm shaking this and it's holding really well. I think that kind of consistency is what you're wanting for the fritter. And so let us now go to the cooker and start to cook our fritters. So we're going to turn this pan on, and we're going to get this pan nice and warm. We're going to add in some sesame oil to cook with. We'll just coat the pan, and once this is heated up, we'll then put them in, and I'll speed up this so you can see the cooking process. Done and ready for serving. I'll just turn this one over now to show you. So these are all now done and these are ready to serve, and on to the next dish. Okay, so this is the third and final dish, and I've actually forgotten, as always, one of the main ingredients for this one, and that is some sweet teriyaki. You'll need 1 to 2 tablespoons depending upon your preference for sweetness. I'm going to use the main wok today, and so I'll speed all this process up, but show you each time what I'm adding in and when. So yeah, let's get cooking. Okay guys, the beautiful stir fry is done and I think it is now time to serve. Okay, and there you have it guys, look at that. Who'd have thought you could have made such a wonderful Japanese inspired cuisine with basically a cabbage, a few store cupboard ingredients and some leftover vegetables. I have to say it makes a beautiful meal for two with just hardly anything, and it's cheap. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button, and stay safe everyone. Bye.